feels like an absolute beast.
Alright, bud, we'll just do about 5 laps here to get the tires back up and get a baseline. Hey.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Brink of Speed. Today we're going to discuss the C8R versus the C7R and how the C8R will change IMSA racing, and will the C8R be better than the C7R? I hope everyone enjoyed that amazing C8R footage. It's gotten me so excited and I'm sure it has you as well. So this is a discussion that I know a lot of people want to discuss. They want to definitely figure out why the C8R is going to be better than the C7R. And so that's why I brought this up today. I really want to get into it. I want to discuss it. And I want you guys to leave me comments in the comment section below, letting me know what your opinions are on this whole matter and why you think the C8R is going to be better or vice versa. Before we jump into that though, if you have not subscribed to the Brink of Speed community, make sure you smash that red subscribe and bell notification so that you're notified when my new content comes out. And by the way, the Brink of Speed store is almost up and running. We had to make some quick changes before we opened it up, and those are still in process. So as soon as that gets done, we will open the Brink of Speed store and you will be able to purchase my merchandise very quickly. Now, I know many people's first question about the C8R and the C7R is, why is the C8R going to do better just because it's a mid-engine? Now, the very simple and quick answer to that is because a mid-engine car is built for more overall performance with its lower center of gravity, its engine in the mid section of the car, creating a almost perfect balance in weight distribution, its weight over the rear tires, which helps it grip more in the rear for better acceleration, better braking, and overall better handling. Those are just the simple, easy answers to that question. Now, if we dive into it and we actually get into why it has these higher performance capabilities, that's what most people want to hear. But before we get into that, what do you guys think about this new C8R? Is it gorgeous or what? Now, do you think that the C8R is just as wide or wider than the C7R? Is the C8R lower than the C7R? That's a good question also, because we do know that a mid-engine car has a lower center of gravity, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it sits lower. Now, is the C8R more efficient with its power delivery? Yes, it has to be. It is driving the rear wheels with that heavy 5.5 liter V8 sitting right over top them. So that's pushing down on those rear tires, which gives it more grip and is able to accelerate the car forward without any kind of traction loss. I believe that this is going to help all by itself with the IMSA racing and the C8R, because of the fact that for the first time ever, the Corvette has a mid-engine, which will allow it to make up a lot of spots from the beginning of the race. If you watch Le Mans racing, for them to be able to have more traction and more grip in the rear, they will be able to pass quite a few cars right off the start. Will this help with braking? Again, leave me comments below letting me know what you think about this, but it is a proven fact that mid-engine and rear-engine cars have more efficient braking and more braking capacity than a front engine car, and I'll explain why. We all know that when you are in a race car, or any car for that matter, and you're going in a straight line and you slam the brakes on, all your momentum moves to the front, which makes the front brakes do most of the work because the rear brakes and the rear tires have hardly any weight on them at that point, and they're going to not grip. So all of your grip is in the front. Whereas if you have a mid-engine or a rear-engine car, those rear tires are still going to have a lot of weight on them, even under full braking. So that means that your front brakes are going to operate the exact same way they used to, but your rear brakes are going to give you a much higher percentage of stopping power than they ever have before. So just on that alone, the placement of the engine really does have a huge effect on the Corvette C8.R race car. Now, another fact of the IMSA racing is that there are 5 manufacturers in the GTLM category, and you have Porsche, Ferrari, Ford, Chevrolet, and BMW. And out of those 5 cars, only 2 of them until now were front engine cars. 2 of them were mid-engine cars. The Porsche was a rear engine car, and then the BMW and Corvette were front engine cars. Now, BMW is the only car in that series that is a front engine car because of the C8.R. And what that is going to do to IMSA racing, with the C8.R being a mid-engine platform now, having more grip, better braking, more efficient aerodynamics, and a lower center of gravity than the C7.R, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to win more races than they ever have in the history of Corvette racing. I think many of you will agree with this, and I truly believe that this is going to change the series. The other thing that we haven't talked about is the engine. And for the first time ever, the Corvette is going away from a pushrod V8, and they are going to a 5.5 liter, which is the same size as what's in there now, but it's going to be a flat plane crank V8. And this engine is going to have a high red line, probably 8,500 to 9,000 RPM. And it's going to be naturally aspirated just like the current engine, but with those high revving engines comes less gear shifts. And with less shifting, the car will get to the corners and through the corners much faster. Now, another advantage that the C8.R has over the C7.R is it will not have what's called oversteer. Oversteer is not necessarily a bad thing, but if you can completely or mostly get rid of it, it will actually help you go faster around the track. The only bad thing, though, about a mid-engine car is that in turn gives you what's called understeer. And a mid-engine car like the C8.R is definitely going to produce a little bit of understeer. However, because of the fact that the mid-engine C8.R is going to be balanced so well, this car will feel like it is pivoting around your hips. And I'm certain that the drivers of the C8.R will go faster around each set of turns because of the fact that it is a mid-engine car. And again, I truly believe that the C8.R is going to break records. It's going to win more races than the Corvette has ever won in the history of Corvette racing. Now, another question that people have is how much influence will the C8.R have on the 2021 Z06? Well, as you know, the C7.R has the Z06 badging right on it. And I was looking for that on the C8.R when they brought it out on the 2nd of October, and they do not have the Z06 badging on there. So that right there is a clue that maybe they're basing the C8.R off of a completely different model of the C8. However, it still wouldn't surprise me if they built the Z06 very, very similar to the C8.R, just without the giant wing. However, I feel like the Z06 won't be quite as wide as a C8.R, just like the C7 Z06 isn't quite as wide as a C7.R. But chances are high that we are getting a C8 Z06 that looks very similar to the C8.R. So that's it, folks. That's what I had for you tonight. I just wanted to give you some information about the differences between the C8R and the C7R in IMSA racing, and whether I feel like the C8R is going to do much better in Le Mans racing than the C7R. And I think you will agree with me that it will. So whether you agree with me or not, please leave me a comment below letting me know what your opinion is on this whole matter of the differences between the C7R and C8R. And also let me know what you think about the C8 Z06 and how it will be structured according to the C8R. But with that being said, I hope each and every one of you enjoyed this video. If so, please give me a big thumbs up. Also, make sure and hit that red subscribe and bell notification so that you're notified when my new content comes out. And join this wonderful Brink of Speed community. We are so happy to have each and every one of you. You guys can always send me an email to bos2020c8@gmail.com, and I'd love to hear from you there as well. So please have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you out on the road.